Hey everybody, it's Natalie from natsnumbers, and I'm here with Cami, my daughter. And I have not told her what we're doing the video on yet. So this is going to be a spontaneous video, and I hope that that's going to make it a little bit more fun. So today we are going to be talking about the psychosis of being a people pleaser. Yay! Fantastic. And I know that I am, and I think that you've got a little bit of that in you. So I've been preaching to you guys this month about how important it is to let go of your blockages, make space for the new, because April 1st we're starting a new 9-month cycle. So we want to make sure that we're not bringing any moldy, disgusting baggage into this new cycle. And so I've noticed that this concept of being a people pleaser is preventing me from truly stepping up to my purpose. It's a huge block and limitation. So before I get into my personal experience with this, with somebody that doesn't like me and having it deeply affect my day-to-day life, I want to ask you, Cami, have you ever had somebody that doesn't like you? Yeah?
She gossiped behind my back.
That's what I'm talking about as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she did that.
Yeah. So how did that make you feel?
It made me feel horrific.
Horrific?
Horrific.
Well, it does, doesn't it?
Yes.
Why do you think it makes you feel so horrible?
She made me feel horrible because the things she said weren't really about me. Mm-hmm. I mean, they're about herself, but she was putting it on me as a target.
Mm. Like, was she saying bad things about you?
Yeah.
But you're saying that they were really about her.
Deep down. Yeah.
Deep down. That's very profound. I'm going to add that to my list. We'll add that to the last part. Because that's a really important point, is that when somebody doesn't like you, it definitely can be a sign that the things that they're saying about you is just really what's going on with them, right? Yeah, that's really cool. That's very important. Okay. So I kind of had a similar experience. So a couple weeks ago, I learned that 2 old business colleagues were talking smack. Okay, they're talking total smack about your mom. What are you going to do?
My mom!
Oh, what are you going to do? You're going to go be a mom? But anyway, and this, it really shook me to my core. Now, when it happened, I wasn't conscious of it. And this is where being a people pleaser, knowing that you have an element of being a people pleaser is so important. You can look in your numerology chart and see that. You can see if you've got any 2s in your chart, which is the people pleasing number. But basically, I didn't know that I was upset about it until a little bit later, when I started waking up every morning with this anger in my belly and these visions of revenge. Like not criminal hatchet revenge, anything like that, but universal karmic revenge, what they give out, they get back. And it came to the point where it was so poisonous to my soul. Like when you get upset about somebody not liking you, a couple things happen, at least for me. And tell me if this happened for you. Number 1 is, at first I believed it. Did you feel like that happened? Or did you not feel that?
Yeah, I definitely experienced that.
Yeah. So you go through that first phase of maybe what they're saying is true. And then you go through these other subsequent phases where, for me, the second phase was wanting to insult them, wanting to put them down to make me feel higher and justified.
That was my second phase.
Did you go through that too?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you're you first believe it, and then you get angry and you want to lash out. And so this morning, you can attest that, you can vouch for the fact that I did this. I was so upset, and I started to feel so poisoned by this state of mind that I decided to get up super early and go on this long walk out in the cold, but to just process what was going on. And I wrote down on my notepad the main discoveries that I made. And one of the first things that I discovered is that ever since I was your age, I've had this affliction of being a people pleaser. And, I can think about middle school, high school, college, even as an adult woman, really compromising my integrity and sabotaging my progress because I just want other people to like me, and I want to get other people's acknowledgement, accolades, and other people's affection. So that's the first principle I want to share with you guys, and I'm sharing with you as well, is when you notice that you're getting upset about somebody not liking you, or if you feel like the whole world should like you, and if somebody doesn't, there's an injustice going on, which is sometimes what I feel. The first thing is to acknowledge is that you are compromising your integrity. And you're basically prostituting yourself. Do you know what prostitute means?
Yeah. What? You can probably tell me in a bit.
Really? What does it mean?
It means selling your body.
Oh!
You asked?
Selling your body. Yes, yes. But you know, prostituting is a word that we can use also of when you're basically giving away something, giving away a part of yourself, and compromising who you are and what your soul is. And so I definitely feel like for me, that was a stage I went through of recognizing that, wow, every time I come up against that feeling that everybody should like me, or that so-and-so, that these two people that were, you know, making judgments about me and talking, you know, gossip about me, to really recognize that it is okay. That it is okay for that to happen, and that I don't need to compromise my truth. And this is what it gets into something really important. We all know people that could care less about what other people think about them. I bet you could count a couple people on your hand that you know, and it is so refreshing. Like, well, do you know somebody that doesn't care about what other people think about them?
My friend Autumn.
Really?
Yeah.
That makes sense. She just kind of walks into a room and she just is who she is. I love that.
Yeah.
Papa, my husband, is another great example. There is something so sexy, so sexy about just somebody that is like, you know, self-assured, they're in their truth, they know who they are, and they're like, take it or leave it. And so there's some people that have that, and that's in their chart. You know, it's actually, sometimes it's a number 4. There's certain numbers that can invoke that certain level of confidence. So it's just really important to know that there are other people out there that exist, that do not let it sink in to their being. Okay, so we've covered whenever you feel the urge to please others, you're compromising your integrity, you're prostituting your life purpose, the unique and one-of-a-kind power that you possess that needs to be expressed in the world. And by the way, your life purpose is so important that it transcends those issues. So once you align yourself with that life purpose, like for you, your life purpose is being a liberator by expressing joy and expressing pleasure. And so once you know that that's your mission, then people that kind of come around that just bring you down, it's like, it's easier to let those things go because you know that you have something that is more important than that.
Yeah.
You can focus on that. You can consult with your purpose to see, to energize you and reinvigorate you. Okay. The second thing is about the number 2 in numerology. And I've talked to you a little bit about this, about the number 2 in numerology represents the peacemaker, which is what we've been talking about, the people pleaser. But it also is representative of 2 laws of the universe. Number 1 is the law of attraction, which is when when we come together like this, or the law of repulsion, when things are like, you know, like they don't like each other. Now, everybody is all crazy about the law of attraction, but let me tell you, if the law of attraction was the only force that existed, we would be this like big blob of atoms that were just stuck together. The law of repulsion is incredibly profound, and the law of repulsion allows your cat to be a cat, and that chair to be a chair, and the tree to be a tree. It allows me to be me and you to be you. And so the law of repulsion is so important, and what it says to us when we're dealing with issues with wanting to be pleasing the whole world or having everybody like us, is it is an expectation that is not in alignment with the universe. The law of repulsion tells us that there are certain people that we're not going to vibe with, and that's okay. There are pockets and tribes of different archetypes, different behavior patterns, different likes and dislikes. And so for the person that you were talking about, would you say that your energies just don't mesh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've tried to get along with her a lot, but it never worked.
Right.
We actually used to be best friends in kindergarten, but she still treated me like just nothing. Like she didn't care.
She didn't treat you with respect.
Yeah.
Yeah, she didn't treat, yeah. And I think that that's really important because the law of repulsion exists. But sometimes what happens is we have this limited thinking. We think to ourselves, well, you know, let's say you just have a class of 10 other girls and you think, well, but I'm friends with this girl, so I'm going to try to be friends with her. I'm going to try to make it work. And the law of repulsion teaches us that if we try to bring two forces together that do not appreciate each other, that do not align, then we're going to experience a lot of discord. So the law of repulsion teaches that if there's somebody that is in your life, that is in your vicinity, that doesn't like you, that you really need to come to terms with that and let it go, to not try to go fix it. Like, I was having this like fantasy about sitting them down, like two things, either sitting them down and being like, you guys, tell me what's going on. Like, there must be other stuff going on, and like trying to counsel them through their dislike of me. That was like, and then the other thing I was thinking about is writing a letter and like being a victim and being manipulative of like, you know, what did you say? Think about it, you know, and like and that is what we do as people pleasers. Is we have this tendency to know that there's that law of repulsion going on, that we are trying, that we know that we need to course correct. We know that that person or those people are not in alignment with our soul. But we try our best to try to, you know, come up in alignment with it, and we only experience negativity in return.
Yeah.
So those are the principles I want to share with you, just to review, that you want to make sure that whenever you are trying to people please people, that you recognize what you're compromising within yourself, to make sure you align yourself with your purpose, which always transcends all relationships, all interactions, positive or negative, and also the law of repulsion. To recognize that this law really teaches us there are some people we vibe with, some people we don't, and to really come to terms with that and course correct and go in the direction of the people that we really value and that make us feel good. So do you have anything else that you want to add to it?
No.
No?
I did in the beginning.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, basically that. And the other thing that Cammie added was, do you remember what it was? It was the whole concept. It was the whole concept that it's that whole thing of when you're pointing a finger at somebody, you're pointing three back at yourself.
Yeah,
you know?
It's
like where essentially what they're saying about you is something that's going on with them. And I tried to do that technique with this situation, and it worked a little bit, but I still had some of that anger.
Yeah.
And so it helped me a lot to really recognize that I was prostituting myself. And so look back on the theme in your life and see if every relationship on some level, if you've been selling out to please others and not really be in alignment with your true values. So I hope that this video helped, and we will talk with you guys later. Bye.